Hi, welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, which gives me my name. It gives pot smokers and drug users their identity, us a nationality, and a heritage. Now, last time we were working with chapter 14 of the Potsmoker's Bible, which is chapter 11 of the book of Zion. This is part 4, the second part of the dissertation. And as I said last time, we're starting with Psalms 51:17 to 19, which is Zion 9 to 11. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit and a contrite heart, O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the wall of Jerusalem. Then, then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offerings, and the whole burnt offerings. Then shall they offer bullocks on thy altar. Psalms 51:17 to 19 carries on the thought. A broken spirit and a contrite heart makes you worthy of the grave. By falling in with the war on drugs, we prove our loyalty. We have earned our place in Zion. We had to suffer for it so that we could be rewarded. Our burnt offerings are our redemption. By choosing to get high, we have overcome the world. By choosing to be true to our friends, we have overcome our baser instincts and earned the right to become gray. It's through getting high that we are tested and found worthy of them. Soon we will be trained by them to be channels on earth. We will provide a way to interact with them so that our futures can become one. We can reunite with our family of gray. The human race need never be alone again. Hosea 6 and 7, or 6 and 7. Zion 11:12 and 13. For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. But they like men have transgressed the covenant. There have they dealt treacherously against me. Hosea tells us that the Grey never wanted the war on drugs. They want the people that we have become because of the persecution. The war on drugs was a means to an end, not an end to my people, as the governments of earth would have it. The Grey want peace for my people, now that we are here. But in order for us to become ourselves, we had to suffer. We are the product of our environment. We break the laws of Moses all the time. It's what's keeping us down. We are taught that sins are forgiven. Our parents live in sin. Our society fosters indulgence. We are programmed to use and abuse our environment. We need to realize that every action has consequences. We must conduct ourselves in a manner that does no harm. To do otherwise is to create suffering. Our actions are like waves. Their effect radiates outward into the world, creating every event that follows. We create our reality by each act we do. We need to live our lives as though every decision matters, because they all do. We live in a society that has no concept of conscience, so we need to be the conscience of the human race. We were created to be an example for humanity. Isaiah 5:25 Zion 11:14. Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. Isaiah 5:25 tells us that is the reason for the prohibition against marijuana, not to be confused with the war on drugs. We indulged ourselves on high. We didn't seek divine presence. We didn't know that that was, in fact, what we had found. We connected with the gray through telepathy, but all we did was party. Getting high is about so much more than good times. Although I'm not mocking the party, it's who we are and how we are defined. But the high is a telepathic link to the gray. We elevate our minds to be able to join in their conversations. We are learning to speak as the gray do. When we take the high seriously, we will learn so much about reality. Telepathy is a joining of the minds. You link into the brain waves of your conversant. You become one similar to Spock's mind meld. You can feel them as well as hear them. You can see what they're thinking as well as hear what they're thinking. And how to describe this last part, the knowing. Each and every person in reality has a very unique energy signature. Telepaths can feel this energy signature that is unique to us all. And once you connect with that energy signature, you know people on such a level that you can't comprehend unless you experience it. It's just so much more than you realize. When we rejected religion, we rejected our own truth. So we lived our lives mindlessly, partying away on high. It's no wonder the gray got pissed at us, but it is our own fault. We may have deserved to be taught a lesson, but what the war on drugs has become is a form of genocide. The governments are trying to eradicate us as if we were an infestation. We are exactly what the Gray intended when they created humanity, but we are seen as a threat to the governments, and with good reason. We will put an end to the wrongs of this society, and we will do it in one simple step. We will end the monetary system. Star Trek, here we come. Money, as they say, is the root of all evil. So, if we get rid of the concept of the monetary gain, we can build a better society. We do not need money. Money is a concept. It has no intrinsic value of its own. Money is an idea of ego. Its possession gives a power, but it has no power of its own. We give it power over us. So, we can just simply choose to end to use it. We can take the power of the idea of money away. Now, some people might call me a socialist, but I don't consider myself to be one. I and my brothers and sisters keepers. Or at least the state should be. The only reason for a government is to provide for the needs of the citizens. By definition, its function is to govern the needs of the people under its care. And care is the operative word here. The government body is to take care of the people. There can be no other reason for the office of government. Politics is by its nature an ego trip. Government must restrict its authority to the care of the basic needs of the governed. It's because of the ego trip of authority over my people that the war on drugs has been elevated to its present cruelty. My people are being killed in the streets, just as our friends, the prophets, warned. The police feel free to gun my people down as if it were their right. But the Grey foresaw this, and they have a response ready. Isaiah 49:24-26, Zion 11:15-17. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith the Lord, even the captive of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contend with thee, and I will save thy children. I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Now they say, shall the lawful captive be delivered? Yeah, they will be. The Grey will deliver us. They will come to earth to show the world that we're their people. The Grey are ready for this. They set this up themselves 3,000 years ago. The Grey inspired the prohibition against marijuana, knowing that it was not justifiable. They did it that way on purpose, so that they would use the Torah to prove its true purpose. The war on drugs will end, because it's not a just war. There is no justification for the war on drugs. It was made that way. Now the tables are turning. The governments are facing a grim future. Everything they base their lives on is about to be undermined. Their religions and their morality are suspect. Their governments and society are based on insubstantial concepts that can't be maintained. The advent of the Grey will make false their current belief systems. And we're going to end there today. So, may the Grey watch over you, bless you, and guide you in all things. Stay happy and high, my people. Know that I love you, and that I will say later, because I'll never say goodbye.